Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel, and I'm your host for LT Productions. You are watching I Watch You Watch. We are covering a new season 2 of the Braxtons. This is every Friday, I think, at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video. You can also subscribe if you are new. I welcome you here. And you can go on and leave your comments below. Let's get into this episode. Okay, so where do I begin? I think this season is going to be intense and deep, especially when you're dealing with family secrets. And people got their own opinions and own feelings about whatever happened and all that. So, if you are a fan of the Braxtons, and you would have to be living under a rock if you're not on social media a lot, as far as like the apps of like Instagram or Twitter or whatever, TikTok, to know that there was first this teaser of Tony it looked like she was going to get into a tussle with Tamar. All of it seems to have to stem from whatever happened with one of their nieces, Ashley, who is the daughter of their only brother, Mike. I think they called him Mikey or whatever. He's the junior. That's the daughter. And if you've been alert of things that have been on social media for about the last 2 to 3 years, Ashley has told her story. She told it once. I remember that it was before this, I think, the Braxtons that came out, and then she came out again and told a little bit more of her story. And we'll probably get into that as the season progresses, but she's experienced a lot of abuse. That first stems from her father, and she even said that she did some of the abusing. And we can get into that later on. I'm sure there's other episodes of her talking about it. So, but that's just a short term of it. But there was something that happened between one of her aunts and spouse at the time. I don't even know if she said spouse. But anyways, there was an inappropriate conversation, and Ashley paid the price for it. Despite she may have been just grown-ish at the time. I don't know. But it was inappropriate and all that. So that's where we're at right now. Tamar has invited Ashley to her podcast that she has. It's about healing. I could be shady right now, but I choose not to at this moment. This has gotten some of the family members upset, and we'll get into that later on. So anyways, Tamar and Ashley, they go out to eat someplace. They have lunch, dinner, whatever. Tamar says that she has an open hand to Ashley because the family did not offer help after she was crying out for the stuff that she had going on. So that's why she wants to do something different for Ashley. We find out that Ashley lives in Spain, and I think I knew that already. But anyways, it's kind of this switching back and forth. We get some Tamar and Ashley, then we get Tawanda and Trina. I kind of want to stay on the path of Tamar and Ashley just to kind of get it over with, because it's like a minute and a half for both, and it's just like, can we just have one solid conversation here and one on the other? We can have split screens later on. When Lauren passed away, that was the niece that passed away a couple of years ago. I think that was right before Tracy had passed. Change the scenery, y'all. All right, so I was talking about Tracy and Lauren and Mikey. All of them, they live up in the DMV area. So, yeah, they're a lot more closer. But I think, if I remember correctly, it was either Tracy that said that was my baby, someone that she took care of, because we found out a lot of stuff. Ashley's biological mother, I think this was Mikey's first wife or whatever she was to him outside of just being the baby mom. She took care of him. She ended up abandoning the family. So that was a tidbit if you haven't seen it. But you can just type in and search through YouTube. Her videos are up there. I think even on TikTok she has it, and she explains in depth as to things that happened in her life. Yeah. Tamar said that she flew in Lauren from Spain after her sister had passed away. I forgot how the sister passed away, but Ashley was talking about, that could have been me. I don't know what was happening at the time. I think she was partying or whatever, but I forgot what it was. No, I thought she had a sickness. I think she had a sickness. But I think Lauren passed away before Tracy or right after Tracy. It was one of those things that was going on. And I know people were getting on Tamar for something where it seemed like she was insensitive to whatever, to the situation. Tamar's agenda is, my attraction to you is healing. Despite what it looks like on the outside, and the optics could say that I'm trying to be messy, but that's not my goal. She did ask Ashley, what are you wanting to get out of this? She says, I think that I have to tell my story for other people to get help. Like, why would I just sit on my story? Ashley seems to be coming from a place of healing and all that good stuff because of where she's at in her life. Tamar was asked by the producer, do you think that Ashley's healed? And she says, no. I think that she has regressed. And it has to do with how the family decided to deal with it when she actually was seeking out help. I don't know for sure in regards to that, but Ashley's always has come on screen when she was interviewed before as just someone who wanted to just live in her truth. She wasn't coming out to spite whomever. But anyways, let's see. So now we're going to jump over to Tawanda and Trina. Tawanda's just letting us know she's engaged. Something that happened at the end of the episode I'll talk about now to kind of fill the space. She does talk about regarding her having, if she is, even though she's very detail oriented and wants to get in the mix of everything, her number one rule is don't ask the bride anything. If I've given you a task, don't ask. If you have questions, don't come to the bride. It's interesting. Of course, I've never been married, so I don't know anything about all that stuff, but yeah. We find out that Tawanda has never had a wedding, so I guess she went to the courthouse. Trina is adding something to her bar, and she's trying to make some slushes, like a martini slush. I think that's the liquor or whatever it's supposed to be. The concept is supposed to be. In the midst of that, Tawanda asks Trina, how do you feel about the platform our niece Ashley is being given? Because what's happening is Tamar has invited Ashley to come to her podcast. Trina says that, I just don't know if Ashley really has thought about what's up. She's taking an opportunity without really knowing the repercussions of doing it. I got some thoughts about that, but let me see if there's a little bit more I need to go through. She says, I can't negate what anyone has gone through and how they got to process it and all that. Tawanda says, you're a victim too. Still, they're talking around it and it has not gone direct, but it's been implied that whatever the altercation was, it was Ashley and her ex-husband, Gabe. That's what we can only assume by now because still in episode 1, we don't know. Exactly, nobody's actually said it. But in that case, Ashley was shunned off. Trina says that after Ashley came out, and this was the second time that she came out, she says that she was bullied online. I don't think that was cool for the internet to do that because we didn't even know who it was. Y'all assumed it because of how scandalous Gary was and how he frequently was online doing stuff. Trina says, you could have come to me. Ashley wasn't, because I don't know what Ashley is looking for. She says that she wasn't ostracized. She left, meaning going to Spain. My number never changed. Yours did. I don't know if that's all the truth. I usually believe that Trina tells the truth. I think so, and I think that she's one of the fairest on the show out of the sisters, as far as I see. Tony, and I'm just saying the fairest, Tony doesn't get involved that much. So it's just like, I can't really say that she's fair or not, I think that she's the most logical, I think. You probably would think that I would say Tawanda, who's always there for everyone as far as what she is supposed to be, allegedly, but whatever. I don't think that y'all embrace that girl after what ever happened between her and Gabe. I don't believe it. Ashley is saying, even later on to Tamar, you're the only one that has reached out to me to this extent and in this way out of the whole family. And Tamar says that she knows how that feels. So, no, I just don't believe that, Trina. I don't believe that y'all did not, I don't think that y'all handled it the way that you should have handled it. And now you think that she owes you something. I don't know about that, Trina. I don't know. Let's see. And then Trina, since all this stuff has been, I guess, brought back up, she's like, I don't even know how to process this to compartmentalize it. Hopefully I said it right. And Tawanda's like, you don't have to do that because you're one of those people that suppresses what they got going on, and that's not cool. You try to hide your emotions. And Trina was like, look, I was fine where I was. I'm now married to a new guy, a good one, even though that's subjective as far as public opinion for what we have seen. I don't know what he's like off of what we've seen, but anyways, yeah. I'm not going to devalue Trina's whatever perception, but I don't think that Ashley owed you anything, all because you don't want this out in the open. And that is the manipulation of these family secrets. What goes on in the family stays in the family. Well, y'all don't even really work out anything. Ashley got away because it wasn't just whatever happened that was inappropriate with you, it's the abuse that she had received from her dad and others. So I don't know, maybe it's good for them to kind of sit down, but I don't think that Ashley has to hide anything. I don't think that she should be punished because she wants to say what actually went on in the family. Let's see. Tawanda is in her acting bag, and I promise you I have not seen anything that Tawanda has been in. She keeps saying that she's the actress. I just haven't seen anything, unfortunately. But she's an actor and a director in this movie called Watch It. Apparently this is a sequel to something that she's already has been in already. This is a part of Sister to Sister Productions. This is going to be distributed on Prime, Amazon Prime, Apple TV, and Tubi. And she says that she's come to this place in her life that she's not holding back on anything that she has going on. Tamar is getting ready for her tour. It's called October Night and Calling All Lovers. She's teaming up with some guy named October. Unfortunately, I have not heard of him. I'll look him up and see what's up with that. But Tamar's going to the doctors. She did get got her breast done, and now she wants a BBL. So basically, 2025, Tamar's been restructuring herself, and it looks like Funky has really confirmed all the stuff that was going on with Tamar, because it looked like she was, whatever she was getting all these surgeries for, basically her face was just falling off. Not to that extreme, but you know, when she was just talking about she had missing teeth, then she had a broken nose and all that, and she don't know how that happened. Ma'am, you were reconstructing your face and something went wrong. Because I guessed that. I was like, it's more sounding like you had a mishap with some of the surgeries that you had. So Tamar, after getting the process of what she has to go through to get this BBL, she was trying to sneak out of the doctor's office because she has no tolerance for pain. She leaves with her friend, but her purse was lost. Her was left behind. So she had to go back up in there and then just told the lady, look, I'm not going to do you like that. I'm going to stay here and do what needs to be done. I was like, okay. So Tamar has been working on her body. Adi. Lady E and Trina, they get together and they talk about Trina's in real estate. And she's only been in it for a little while, and she's already closing on her first house next month, whenever they actually tape the show. They also talked about Tawanda getting a wedding. Lady E says that, hey, if anyone deserves it, it's definitely Tawanda to get this wedding and all that good stuff in marriage. Tawanda's having a bridal bachelorette party, and it's going to be in Tulum, Mexico. Everybody goes to Tulum, so I'm sure it's going to be great. And they talk about how detailed Tawanda is. She's a Virgo, and yes, everything is planned out to a T, and it's going to go right. And if it don't, then you're fired. Look at Beyonce. She's a Virgo. It's in them. Tony, she's still doing a residency, I think, with Cedric in Las Vegas. They ended up extending her contract until 2026. But she's going to get into producing films, and she wanted to get with someone that can consult her at how to even start pitching ideas of the stuff that's going on in her head. She gave this concept, and the lady was like, well, first you need to do is just write it all down. Get a summary of that so that you would be able to even comprehend to people what your vision is and all that good stuff. And at the end of the episode, we're getting a preview of what's to come on Tamar's podcast, whom she has invited Ashley to come on. It's called Live, Love, and Beyond. Her friend James, and then also someone else that's on her podcast that she has. So yeah, that's where it's at right now, and I guess we're gonna find out what this season holds. So far, I'm cool. I'm gonna try to limit my shadiness on certain things, or not to seem so negative, but I just feel certain ways about certain people on the show, unfortunately. But that's just how I feel. But y'all give me your opinion, your take on what this first episode was for you, how you felt about it. Do you think everything's going to go well, as far as even trying to whatever the sisters got planned with even Ashley coming in? And you think that there's going to be a resolution before the end of the season? Hopefully so. But that's all I do have, y'all. Like this video. Thank you for coming by. Also share it, subscribe, and until the next one. Peace.